What is going on, guys? This is Chris here from 608 Gaming, and today I am going to show you guys how to make a Hell in a Cell in Minecraft. So I'm starting off with just a completely blank slate. What I'm going to do here quick basically is I'm going to make the ring in the little tiny area that I usually make around the ring. So when I make my rings, I make them 10 by 10. So let me see how many I got there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Like that. Okay, and what I'm going to do here quick, guys, is I'm just going to skip ahead here to where I've got the ring done. Alright, so just the very outside of the ring is done. Now what I'm going to do quick, guys, is basically you just fill up the entire inside of the ring with glowstone. Because when you put glowstone down and then you put the carpeting over top of it, basically at that point it gives a glow and you can't tell there's any glowstone underneath it. So that it looks like there's actually light shining on the ring. So, 1 second here, guys. Alright, so now I've got the glowstone underneath, and then I've got the white carpet over top, so it looks like it's the ring mat. And then now basically I usually just do nether fencing, but it kind of just depends on what you want your ring to look like. I always do just the darkest I can do for the outside ring post. That's just I think what looks the best. And then at that point you can put any color of fence gates in there to make it look like the ropes. I just did the update, or the newest update here, and now it gives you the ability to do birch and jungle and maybe one other type of fence gate and everything. So I decided to go with the birch just because it's a very light color. I think it looks really, really good. Alright, guys, so next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish up doing everything that I do around the ring, and then at that point we'll start actually making the cell. Alright, guys, so now I've got that done. I didn't put any walls or any barricades up. I just figured for the sake of these videos it's probably not important. But just in case you guys were curious to see what I usually do, I usually have it be 3 blocks out on every side of the ring. So the next thing I'm going to do here, basically, being the sake that we are doing the Hell in the Cell, this row here I'm actually going to completely clear it out quick, and then I'm just going to put the wool block, the actual wool block, in replace of these grass blocks. So it'll just be a moment here, guys. Alright, guys, so now I've got the dark gray wool blocks in there, as you can see, there's a little bit of a dip, but the only reason I put that in there is because when we build the cell, you can't put iron bars on this carpet here, so there's a little bit of a dip, but overall I think once we get done, it's not going to look too terrible. So the next thing we're going to do, basically, is I'm just going to go through, and I'm actually going to just do the initial framing of the cell with the iron bars. So with the iron bars, all you're basically going to do is you're just going to go through here, and you'll basically just go all the way around the ring. You want to make sure there's I'm leaving a 1 space gap in here. You can decide to do a 2 space gap if you want to. That just kind of depends on your personal preference on how you want your ring to actually look. Then the one thing you're going to do is you'll have to pick a space somewhere. I usually just do it on the right side here, but you have to have a spot for the iron door. So what we'll do quick is let me just pull up an iron door, if I can remember where they put it. All right. So for now, it's always going to be an iron door, and you can choose if you want it on the outside or the inside. I think I personally like it better. Let's do the inside for now, and we'll see kind of how it ends up turning out. So then the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to go through, and you're just going to fill through the rest of the cell, and you're going to want to make it as high as you want it. So let me get done putting that up to the specific height, and I'll let you guys know how high that needs to be. Alright, guys, so what you're going to do is basically you're going to make it 7 blocks high. I was going to initially do 6, and I ended up doing 7 just because it just wasn't tall enough on the inside of the cell. But you're going to go up 7, and then basically what you're going to do is based on the dimensions I have with 14 blocks by 14 blocks for the actual cage, you're going to space this out. If you go from the very edge, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll have a center, or one of the one of the spacers. And then you're going to do another 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be a 5th one out, so it's going to be just a little bit bigger, so that you'll have actually 4 blocks in the center instead of having 3. And then this is going to go back to the, it'll be 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is the actual outside. And that's how it's going to be, so that everything ends up looking square. And then you're going to go about then after you get done doing that, you want to make sure that your center spacers are 2 blocks high. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take light gray glass, and then we're actually going to put that in as the actual cage so that you can actually walk up on it if you decide you want to. Alright, so 1 second, guys, let me get that the light gray glass in here. Alright, guys, so now we've got the light gray glass in there, and as you can see, it actually looks like it's the top of the cell. overall, you can't do iron bars up top because you can't actually walk up on top of it. So at this point, this actually shows the diagonal spacers like what's in the actual cell, and then you actually have a spot that you can walk on. And the nice part about with glass is that even if you're in survival mode and you guys decide you want to have like a match or something, you can break this and then you can actually push your opponent through it, and he still falls down just like it typically would be. And then the last thing we're going to do to finish this off is basically what we're going to do is, because technically in a Hell in a Cell match you're not supposed to be able to get out. So all we're going to do is basically we're just going to break this. We're going to toss another gray wool in there. And then at that point we're just going to find a pressure plate, and the only one that would match right now is probably going to be the stone one. We're going to set that down. That's going to open it up so that you can get in. Now at that point you can't get out unless somebody decides to let you out. And you guys can kind of tweak this if you guys want to decide that your superstars can get out or whatever, however you guys want to go about doing it. But other than that, guys, there you go. As you can see here, it still looks like there's fencing up above you, and then you still got the spacers in there to make it look as authentic as possible. And you guys can do different things too. If you guys decide that you don't want to do the iron bars as the cage, if you guys want to actually go about and just make a glass cage, you guys could, there's a ton of things you guys can do. I'm curious to see what you guys do. Just comment down below and let me know what you guys did. Other than that, guys, I just want to thank you for watching. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. We definitely appreciate it. We're going up in subscribers pretty decent here, so we can keep this growing, guys, and we can get more videos coming out to you, and eventually, hopefully, I can make this a full-time thing. That's what I'm hoping to do. Other than that, guys, like I said before, thanks for watching. Have a good one.